and we'll see if anyone else comes because then we can just do like a Q&A. Like I can just guide you through it and
Okay,
stuff.
I also have a question.
Okay, well, I can answer that now
Well,
if you want.
right now I'm looking at that, and I heard that it's cheap this on Canopy,
Okay.
but um, I think what last class you were saying when to post and like scheduling your social media posts.
Right.
And on Wednesdays it was the market or something like that. I don't know where to find that information.
Oh yeah, the
what
like the
was
market
it.
stats.
Yeah.
Yeah, that comes out on Canopy like once a month.
Okay.
It should be out by now. So let's go. Yeah, if you don't mind going actually to pulling up a new tab and going to carolinarealtors.com. I just specifically know the steps from there. I'm sure you can get to it from, if you go to like all one word, carolinarealtors.com. Perfect, thank you. So how you get to it is just like the monthly market reports right there. And then from there, I think it's the Charlotte region reports, the second one down. And then, so this is where you're getting it for each month. So, and they also have like the infographic pre-created. So this is like the full report that you can grab. So like it would be like multiple pages about like amount of listings, days on market, etc. But if you click on the infographics, they pre-create these for you. So they usually like as far as when, because it does take them a little bit to create it, because they launch the reports around like the 15th, the 10th, and then they try to create the graphics like, let's see, like they don't have January's up. And I saw a message.
It all becomes like just take it and post it.
Exactly, is the idea. But usually it's not till like the 25th, maybe by the time they go do it. Now, what we do to get it out earlier is, I don't know if you have like Canva or
Yeah, I do.
like we just went and recreated essentially like these look a little different, but like we essentially recreated this in Canopy so that we can look at the report every month and just enter in the numbers so we can get it out faster. Just an idea that's obviously more work, but so if you just want to wait until it rolls out, that works too.
All right. That was
Exactly. So it would be, and another thing I really like about this is, so yeah, you would just click to like download it as an image specifically, as far as for Instagram. But the smart talking points I really love for making a caption. So have you used ChatGPT? Have we talked about this? Okay. So usually what I do is I will grab, this is Asheville or maybe I clicked on the Asheville report. I did. But you can see like the smart talking points under it. So for here, and even for year end, this is still interesting in the way you phrase it, if you even wanted to send this out. Anyway, what I do is I essentially come in here and I'll read maybe a section that I want to include as my caption, maybe even like take all of it, and put it in, I put it in ChatGPT and say, hey, can you regenerate this as a social media caption? And if it's too long, you can always say, hey, can you make that a little more concise, right? But then it'll give you like the hashtags and emojis. I mean, hashtags it gives you ChatGPT are kind of like not really maybe the trending hashtag. I do, yeah, because sometimes they're like, no one's gonna write that, but it has the idea, there.
okay.
And cool. So yeah, I'm gonna just actually. Hey, Bernice. Thanks for joining class. We are doing a little bit of a Q&A today. So if you would like to, if you have any certain questions about how to get paid in KW Command, I can show you guys how you would access your forms and submit your paperwork to get paid. Bernice, I know you're online. If you're able to unmute yourself, is there any specific questions that you have, or do you want to just see the workflow of how you would access your forms and get paid in Command?
No, I actually didn't know what the class was about. I had more questions about, how to create like apps and all that. But I mean, I'm happy to go over it.
Okay, yeah, well, I'm happy to do Q&A. We were going to actually talk about Facebook anyway, so if you'd like to talk about Facebook strategies a little bit and then how to do an ad on Facebook, is that what you were looking to do?
Yes, I have to set it up from Facebook, and if like if there's a way for me to set it up so I can do it like on Saturday for the whole week and forget about it. Maybe I don't know.
Like schedule posts?
Gotcha, schedule posts. Got
Mhm.
it.
Yes.
Yes, scheduling posts is really great with Command, and that would be a great thing for you to see as well. Awesome. Okay, yes, let's do that. So the first thing that we need to do to make sure that we can schedule posts in Command, so you can schedule posts right to Instagram and Facebook right from Command. So right command is at agent.kw.com. So that's where I am here. And just let me know if you need more clear steps on how to get here. But we do need to make sure that your Facebook account is linked to KW Command, and it would require a Facebook business page as well to be linked. Do you have a Facebook business page? Okay,
Yes.
great.
Yes,
Awesome.
and it's already linked.
Great. Okay. So let's just make, and if yours is already linked, great. You can just stay where I am, but do you know if yours is already linked? Okay, let's take a look.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so let's click on your name on the very top right of Command.
Okay. Right.
And then settings from that drop down. And Bernice, if you know yours is already connected, you can just stay where you are. I'm going to show everyone in class how to check as well. But so the apps here, so again, where I am is clicking on your name on the top right of Command and then settings from that drop down. And then it'll take you over to the connected apps that you have linked to Command. So we specifically want to look for the Facebook post scheduling. Now mine's in a different order than yours because it'll show you the connected apps at the top first. So if yours is not near the top, you can scroll down to the social area where you can go ahead and connect that Facebook. We do want to do for post scheduling specifically in this case, and you would need a business page to link it to the post scheduling and the ads manager. Is yours linked? Awesome. Okay. Okay, so now that we ensured that is linked, of course, you can have Instagram linked as well. You can schedule to Twitter too if you have a Twitter business account. So just to give you an idea, you do need business accounts for Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter in order to post from here or do ads. However, Facebook, you do have two separate pages, a Facebook business page and a personal page, versus Instagram, you just convert your page to a business page. Same with Twitter. So if you guys need help on any of that, just let me know and I can help you convert your account to a business account. But how will you go about scheduling posts? Okay, so what I'm going to do is click on the campaigns icon. So there's two sections that work really closely together in here for scheduling out content on social media. That's the campaign section where we actually do the scheduling out. And it's also the design section. Excuse me. So the design section is where you could go to create a design if you don't already have one for your social media idea. Okay, but if you went and got the stats image online and have that saved to your computer, right, you might already have that, or these quick posts are really awesome too. My favorite one especially being this create neighborhood video, which creates a market stats for any neighborhood that you want it to, and then it posts it out for you. This is something I would recommend doing once a month, whether that's the 1st of every month or the 15th of every month, at least coming in and you can highlight any area that you're a specialist in. So let me show you what I mean by that. So again, where I am is in the campaign section. Sorry, I know that's annoying, but I'll try to fix it later. So the campaign section here, right? And it should have your quick posts right here. If you click on the arrow under the video, the neighborhood video, that'll pop up and give you the option to search neighborhoods. So I can put in, let's say, if I want to specialize in Hunter Oaks, if I want to specialize now, and you can kind of see, what they have in here as far as what they consider a neighborhood, right? Neighborhoods in residential North Carolina means something slightly different than neighborhoods in Chicago, for example. So they do tend to vary. I'm going to see if they have anything for Valentine, and you can see they do, right? So as far as what they consider a neighborhood, you can kind of play with that. But let's say I want to post a video all about the current market stats for Valentine Country Club, because that would be a great place to show your sphere that you are a specialist in, right? So if I click on Valentine Country Club, let's say, from that drop down and click on next, it'll automatically pull in the market stats, and you can eye over that. So, sorry, getting over a cold. So what you're looking at here is the market stats that are automatically pulled in. If anything looks crazy to you, of course, you can spot check this, but overall, it adds that for you. I would, again, just make sure it makes sense, right? Average home price being 1.6 in there does make sense. That's really all we have to do. You'll see the next two drop down, what are they called? Arrows, that you can see your contact information that will display. This pulls from your marketing profile in Command, so you shouldn't have to change anything. Same with that drop down next, the market center brokerage information. You can add anything, but it should automatically pull in from your marketing profile. So really, we didn't do anything. We just have to click next again. And it does usually take like 10 to 30 seconds, and it puts together this entire video of all the market stats in Valentine Country Club. And you could do this for each neighborhood individually. Now, it is the same graphics you'll see, but it customizes it to the neighborhood. So let me show you what it looks like, because it is really awesome that it creates this for you. So it shows the date. So you're showing it, it's hyper local and hyper timely to today. Average price in the neighborhood. Average price per square foot. How many homes are currently for sale. Average days on market. And then it even gives like demographic information that athleisure is really big, healthy foods are really big, networking opportunities. And it puts all your info on it. So pretty cute little graphic, right? So what you can do is click save and post, and you can post it right to your social media. Okay. Even cooler, if you can find on Facebook, there are like groups like Valentine Country Club tennis groups, right? If you become a part of those groups, you could post this directly in those groups to keep everyone informed on what their market stats are doing each month in the neighborhood, right? So it creates it for you. So all you would have to do is put in a caption, and you can either publish it immediately or schedule the post, okay? So again, if you wanted to put in a caption, you could put in emojis, like check out the market stats for February in Valentine Country Club. Call me today if you'd like a private showing of any of the 8 homes that are for sale in the neighborhood, right? What's even cooler is you could then add a link as well for them to search the homes for sale in that neighborhood, okay? So what I'm going to show you next is how you can grab things from your website. So you can actually go to your website and perform a search and put that as a search on your social media, okay? Any questions on, before I show you that, any questions on like this video? Do you feel comfortable on how you got there? Cool. So if I wanted to also add a search, okay, and I'll show you too how you could just post this one off. But what's cool about your website, so if I pull up another tab, and if you're not sure what your website address is, you can look that up in the consumer tab. Okay, I'll go ahead and click on that so you can see it. It might take you away from here, but that's okay. All right, so we'll click on the consumer tab and just say, yes, I would like to, if you would like to save this post, by the way, like if you actually did this, you can of course click save draft up here. So we can come back to it. Okay. This was actually like the market stats that I pulled from October and had ChatGPT rewrite it to give you an idea. Yeah, let's take a look at that too, actually, next. So Bernice, what we're talking about next is the MLS automatically provides these images of the Carolina or the Charlotte region stats each month. So to give you an idea, all I did, for example, is I did not create this graphic. I went to carolinarealtors.com to grab this graphic. I'll show you how. Then I had ChatGPT rephrase this as a social media caption based on what they gave me. Okay, so let me show you how that works. If you would like to pull up a new tab and go to carolinarealtors.com, you can get there, Shirley, from like just going directly to the matrix. I just don't know those steps. So if you can go to carolinarealtors.com, it's super easy steps to get there. Or at least I thought. Didn't I have you go to carolinarealtors.com? But doesn't mine look different?
Yeah.
Okay. Huh. Okay. This is why I'm like, every time I try to teach this, I'm like, where is this link?
I think that happened last time. I went on and I find it.
I don't find it. Okay, well then I'm just gonna have to figure it out. So yeah, Bernice, hang with me one sec. I'm gonna have to find if does yours still show like what you did when I okay, so Bernice, just in case yours is showing what the class is showing, usually when I go to carolinarealtors.com and maybe I can do incognito. Not incognito. One sec. That's good. Anyway, so if it's coming up and it says, what does it usually say? Like, okay, thanks. Maybe you have to log in first. That's probably my problem. There we go. Okay. Thanks for your teamwork, everyone. Okay. Thanks. And this is my mom, so we'll see if I know her password. Because you can't be logged in two places, huh, Christina? Okay, I'm gonna walk you through this because I can't log in technically. Would you actually mind logging out on your screen and coming up here? Yeah, I just don't want you to get like flagged if you're logged in two places. Thank you so much. Okay, one sec online. Thank you for your patience. I so feel that. And if not, I can go ask my mom what her new password is, worst case scenario. If you don't know your login, it's okay. We'll figure out another way. Thank you for doing this. If not, I'll go ask my mom. It's really no biggie. Thank you for trying. Okay, Bernice, I'm gonna walk you through the steps. Can find my mommy there. So what you do is you go to carolinarealtors.com, and if you don't mind logging back in on yours, I'll just tell you the steps from looking at yours. All right. You're right. So from carolinarealtors.com, Bernice, if that's where you are, you should see under market activity, a monthly market stats or monthly market reports near the top. And I'll create a video on how to do this and post it on the Facebook group for KWB so you have more clear instruction. But from there, so if you click on the monthly market reports, it'll take you into the market report section of the MLS, and you want to click on the infographics on the left-hand side. So you should see it says infographics/talk smart on the left-hand side. And that's where you can scroll down slightly on the right and grab one of those infographics. So from what I'm saying, it's only available up to year end right now. So they usually there is a lag on when they create these graphics, as you can see. But if any of those year end, right, if anyone's creating their goals for 2024 around real estate, year end market stats data around hyper-local Charlotte information is still really valuable for them. So make sure you're selecting the Charlotte area one and not Asheville, and you can click on the image option to download that.
Okay.
And that should download it to your computer as a JPEG. Cool. Nice. Okay. That's a newer one. Yeah, it does. Let me see if I can just. Well, so as far as I don't think it has the infographic created for January. Yeah, exactly. Now you could go to instead the Charlotte region reports and then go to the monthly indicator reports. If you click on that, you could screenshot sections of this. You'll just see it's like a PDF of lots of graphs. Yeah, so it's not like it looks super pretty, you know. Yeah, and that's what Jules and I do. We do create it in Canva and then just plug in, then we pull up that report, we being Jules, but pull up that report and she enters in the numbers into the graphic that I created. So that would be a way to expedite it because, yeah, waiting for them to post that graphic, you know, we need it in the month before, right? The month before it ends. So just an idea for that. And then of course you can throw the smart talking points into ChatGPT to give you a caption. Okay. Again, I'll make a video on that so I can actually show it a little more clearly. So Bernice online, if you want more info on that, shoot me an email or schedule and I'll show you that in person. Sorry, I couldn't show it up here. But this next tip will be really helpful for you guys. This is one of the biggest things you can do for your social media to drive traffic to your website with really interesting things, right? Wouldn't everyone really like to see, let's say, all the homes for sale in the Ballantyne School District under $500,000, right? That's a list that they would really want to see. Or do you want to post out all the open houses that are coming up this next weekend? Do you want to post a list of homes with a price reduction in Marvin School District in the last 7 days, okay? So just to give you an idea, that's all the searches we can do from your website and then post to your social to drive traffic. So let me show you the how now. So to look up what your website address is, if you already know what it is, feel free to pull up a tab and go to your live website. If you don't know what your website address is, no worries. Just click on the very bottom icon on the left-hand side of command. That's the consumer icon. And you should see what your website address is right here. So it's whatever's in this box, .kw.com. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up a tab and put that in. So it should be something like your name, .kw.com. It usually reflects your KW email, except instead of @kw.com, it's .kw.com. Okay, so the first step that we're going to take is we're going to perform any search that you think would be interesting to someone, right? People are very interested in school districts, of course, especially at this time, since, you know, they would really need to start looking in spring to get their kids into a good school district by August, let's say. So maybe I'm going to guide you on this. We're going to make a caption that's spring is the time to sell and buy your home. Here's why, because we need to get into the school districts, and here's the search to find that home. Okay. So for that school district, whether you want it to be Ballantine schools, right? They are opening a brand new Ballantine elementary school and middle school right across from us, actually. So if you type in Ballantine, you'll see under it, right, the different categories. So some of them say neighborhood, some of them say school attendance zone. All right, that's the one I'm going to click in this example. So if you'd like to do the same, of course, you can search by Weddington school attendance zone, whatever your target is. Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Post it from command,
Uh-huh.
it leads them right to the website.
Yeah, if you include this link, exactly. So we're going to do the search because what we can do now, so right now I just searched, let's say, homes in the Ballantine School District. So if that's what you wanted to do, we could take this link up here and post it to your social media and they'd be able to access this right away. Or now if I wanted to say, let's say Ballantine Elementary School District for a certain price point, like under 500,000. And I just did this for an ad for an agent, or under 550 is what we did, and it ended up having, I think, it was like 8 results. Let's see, 550. Right? What's that price point in Ballantine? That things just fly off the market, right? To get my kids in a school zone like Ballantine for under 550, right? That's impressive. So that's the idea, right? Find a search that would appeal to people. So if you did this once a week, just other ideas for searches, and I'll show you how to post this on your social media. We're just grabbing this link. But you can see as I do the search, it updates this URL at the top, right? With the search items, which means if they click on this link in a week, they're still going to see the most up-to-date information next week, right? So it updates automatically. Other things you can do on here, like you could filter it by filters here. So if you click on filters, just so you guys know, you can search for homes with a pool. You can search for, so if you wanted to put, homes for sale in the Carolinas with a porch, enjoy the spring weather to come and search all the homes in Ballantine with a porch. Search all the homes in Marvin with a pool, right? So whatever that search is that you're trying to target, just some other ones that I like are on the very bottom are open house and homes with a price reduction in the last 7 days. Get a deal, right? Buy a home with a price reduction in the last 7 days, okay? So we're doing a search, and I'll come back here to show you this. And now we're going to copy the URL up top. So whatever search we're doing, we copy that URL. And now I can go directly to my social media. And so if I wanted to go to Facebook and post that out, I would just go to Facebook, click add comment, or add a post, right? And I could paste that URL in. Now, if you want to schedule that, right? So let's say I want to schedule that in advance. You can do that from command, right? You can do that from the campaign section. So I'm switching back to command. And would it be helpful to see too how you post it directly from Facebook, or do you foresee yourself scheduling it more? Great. Okay, because this way, yeah, you don't even have to go to Facebook. Great. All right, so campaigns right here, right? The campaigns, that megaphone means anytime you want to blast something out, that's where we go. Okay, so campaigns. And anytime we click on a new section of the menu, we always click on the button on the top right. So that's kind of the workflow. We click on the menu on the left and click on the green teal button on the top right. That'll be your action button. So in this case, I want to create a campaign. I want to create a social post. So I'll select that option. Okay. And first, it'll show you what page you're posting it on. So if you have your Instagram connected, it should show there as well. And this is where we're putting in what is our post about, okay? So what I'm going to write in is something like, get our exclusive, and you can have ChatGPT come up with this, get our exclusive list of homes for sale in the Ballantine School District. Exactly. Under 550K, okay? And now I'm going to paste that in. So that link that we took, and I'll show you again how I got it, right? So what I'm doing is I am going from the search. So I'm performing whatever search I want people to be able to click on and get. Then I copy this URL up top, right, which has all that search criteria in it. So I need it to be completely highlighted to then, you can do control copy or command copy, or copy it there. And then I can come over right into my KW command backend, right? And I can paste in that URL like I did here by right clicking and clicking paste or control V or command V. Okay. So now what I have done so far is I have given them a prompt. I've given them the link. Okay. For social media, I tend to want to put in some emojis, right? So if you do want to do that to give it some pizzazz, you can click on this little smiley face icon to go ahead and add that in. One I might suggest, I really like to put a key, and then I even sometimes like to put a sparkle. If I'm feeling crazy. Of course, I like the house emoji as well. The house emoji is good. I'm trying to think of other ones I use frequently. You're talking about the spring market, including a flower, right? But so we're putting in what they would get if they clicked on that. And now we might want to put a couple hashtags. All right. So I'm going to click enter to go down a couple times. Okay. The point of putting hashtags is so that it groups posts by topic. So instead of grouping posts by if they know you or not, it groups it by topic. So anyone who likes to frequent in Valentine activity, let's say they interact on Facebook with a lot of Valentine events. If you hashtag Valentine, that will make your post more likely pop up for them. I could even say something like Valentine events, Charlotte homes. So, I mean, as far as how many hashtags, I mean, that can be anywhere from 3 to 11, but really you want to focus on getting in things like Charlotte NC to hyper localize you, get you in front of your geographically local audience. And then also maybe things that are a little more, maybe I'm not looking at buying or selling. Maybe I just like to look at homes. So home goals might be a more appropriate hashtag. If you have any questions on hashtags, let me know. So as far as the post itself, right, you can post on Facebook without a photo, but Instagram, of course, needs a photo to post, okay? So in order to add an image, so assuming you were going to post this on Facebook and Instagram, okay, you can do one of two things to grab a photo here. If you feel comfortable screenshotting, like you have a Mac, if you have a Mac, do you know the shortcut to just screenshot part of your page? I can tell you it if not. It's Command Shift, it's either 3 or 4, because Command Shift 3 is the whole page, Command Shift 4 is just a section here. Let me show you. And then what you could do is you could just screenshot like that map. Okay, so Command Shift 4, perfect. So let's go actually back to the live search if you have that still open.
Well,
Yeah,
that page?
Yeah.
I didn't do that one,
Okay,
no.
do you want to real
Yeah.
quick? Okay, so pull up, do you know your website off the top of your head or no?
I think I do.
Okay, if
Is
not,
this-
we can look that up too. So no worries. Yes, that looks right. Amazing. So now if you can put in that search bar, Valentine, and then it should give you, like if you scroll down slightly, the school attendance zone. Perfect. And then if you want to do a price point like I did, you don't have to, right? You can just do all of the homes for sale and the Valentine price point, but that 550 is like, wow, my kids could go there, right? So if you click on the price option in the max, you can run 5, and then you do need all the zeros for that. I think so. Yeah, for that bar to go up, and then you can click apply. And that's right, the 10 properties. So now you can copy this URL at the very top. Yep. Amazing. Great. And, you can write some sort of verbiage above it, like, homes for sale in the Valentine School District for 550,000. Now, wait, screenshot.
Yeah,
Thank you.
screenshotting.
So if you click on, did we do a screenshot or not yet?
No, not
Okay,
yet.
so yeah, Command Shift 4,
So,
and then
am I picking or the whole?
I would do just a portion of it, whether, because kind of like a square is best for Instagram. So
Yeah.
whether you do this side or this side, those are the two I usually do. Maybe this side because that shows the houses.
Oh my gosh.
And maybe, yeah, it's a little fickle. Because maybe, do you mind if I do it for you?
Yeah, of course.
Thanks. I have a Mac too, so I think because I'll try to get this up
Okay.
here as well. Actually, I'm going to accept. Let me see. Just try to fit in as many as I can. But I want that. Okay, so now let's go back to KW backend. Sorry, is
So
it
there's
that
so
maybe?
many tabs. It's
So great.
crazy.
Well, you seem to have it under control. So now you can click on that icon, the one to the right. Yep, that one. I know it's pretty small, and you can click browse files.
Okay, and then you just.
Exactly, and it'll save on your desktop every time. And then you can double click whichever one it is. If you click on it and click the space bar, it should be the top one. Oh, nope. The bottom one.
This one?
Yes, maybe the very bottom one it should be because I got the 550.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just a tip as well, if you are grabbing images, this is kind of a side tip, but if you ever wonder how like images get on like Google Images for you, if someone searches you, it's if you if you rename the file before you upload it to Facebook, it would then show up in Google. So just a tip that would be really helpful for your business, okay? If you, let's say you have an image, and Bernice, if you did not screenshot this, I will show you how you can grab another image from pexels.com. But what I would recommend is before adding any image to Facebook or to social media is rename it instead of whatever it defaults to. Rename it something like your first and last name, homes for sale, right? Your first and last name, real estate. What that would do is make that image then show up anytime someone searched your name, KW, right? Or real estate. Because and then they would see a map of Valentine homes for sale immediately in the images, knowing you target that area. So does that make sense? Any questions on that? Okay. Gotcha. I think it's okay. Oh yeah, right. I mean, I think it's all right because we're putting that in the caption
Yeah.
anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you can center it a little. Yeah. I mean, you can play with the screenshot, but yeah. And just so you know too, where you can get other photos. So if you don't want to screenshot, you can go to pexels.com, right? Or pixabay.com and use free images, and they're beautiful on here. So let's say you wanted to do the same thing, a search, right? But instead I wanted a beautiful picture of a kitchen, let's say, right? Especially because Instagram aesthetics matters, right? So if I wanted to do, let's say, a more aesthetically pleasing image, I could go to either pexels.com or pixabay.com. Either way, Pixabay. Either way, those are free images that you can utilize. Okay, an agent like Google searched one before. You probably heard me tell this story. She accidentally used National Geographic's image. They charged her $800 and told her to take it down. So yeah, it is crazy. So anyway, using one of these sites specifically is my recommendation to avoid all that because this is for commercial use. That's typically the problem. If it's for commercial use, you can't just use any image off Google. But these are free. So like this is beautiful. This would be a beautiful image to be on your Instagram, right? So you could come in here and download this image. It'll ask you if you want to donate. You of course do not have to. But see what I mean? How it like prompts you to save the file name, obviously, to your computer. If you took this time to then rename this as like your name, broker, realtor, right? NCSE, whatever it is, right? Those keywords is what pulls in images for Google Images. Okay, so that's why it's important to take that extra step when you're saving anything to your computer as far as like a photo. If you want to make your Google Images profile without having to do a whole lot. So then as that final step here, so whatever image I choose to use, I can come in and click on this photo icon. Okay, and I think it's very small. So I want to draw your attention to it, this little picture icon. That will allow you to browse your computer or browse designs, right? Because I mentioned there is a designs platform in Command. So if you made that in designs, you can browse it there or from your computer. So I can come over to downloads to pull that in. And it will prompt you to like crop it so it fits Instagram properly. You can change it, which I probably should have mentioned. Like you can change okay, it still didn't really do it. Okay. And you can click crop image. And right, that's going to be now the image that they see. And this is like the preview over here. right? So maybe if I want to pull the link up so they see it. And then there's last two steps, pretty easy though. On the left-hand side, the compliance. So we do want to include the DBA logo and our ownership statement. And so posting through here does make sure you are in compliance when you're posting, which is very cool, automatically. And you can change which side the logo's on if it covers any of your work. So I could change that to the left-hand side instead. And then I can pick if I want to schedule it or publish it immediately. So, right, you can just come in here, even if you want to publish, period. So you don't have to go to Instagram separately or Facebook separately. You can do it all from here. And you can either publish it immediately or schedule the post. And that's when it'll allow you to pick, okay, I want this to schedule out tomorrow morning at 10 a.m., right? Especially if you are like me and I do a lot of my work at 1 a.m. Well, that's not a great time to post on social media. So, you can look up the best times to post on social media in general. You'll see right here, command recommends Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings. So that is true. Usually around 10 a.m. is a great time to post on social media, right before lunch, right after lunch, or other good times. And you can click schedule on the top right. Schedule. Any questions on how you would schedule these posts? Yeah, isn't that cool? And if you time block, let's say this Sunday, to sit down for 2 hours and just collect, let's say 8 different ideas for social media, you could do for the next 2 months, once a week, you have that already scheduled out. So then great, it's good filler so you can focus on more of the now, if you're posting anything else. Do you want me to show you how you can post, have I showed you in ChatGPT can tell you all the tips you need for March for home maintenance?
Able to do that at once and schedule it out for everyone.
Yeah, and that's one of my favorite things to do because that's what a great content. Yeah. And then, right, so that's one of the first things I would recommend doing, sitting down and scheduling out for the first of each month or, whatever day that is. Then pull up ChatGPT and ask it, tell me the top home maintenance tips for February. Then ask it for March. Then ask it for April, right? And then you can go schedule that for each month. We can do that. Let's see. If you want to see this, I'm going to go into ChatGPT if you want to as well. All right. So I'm in ChatGPT. I do recommend telling it how to frame the response. So I always recommend saying, act like a real estate agent and tell me the top home maintenance tips for March. Okay, so it's going to tell me this. And then I'm going to tell it to rephrase it as a social media caption. And I can tell it to make it more concise, or I could tell it maybe just the top 3 things, right? So depending on how long you want it, I could say I often tell it to be more concise in its response, but you can tell when it rephrases it for social media, it automatically does that, right? So I'm going to go ahead and take that response. And I'm going to go into the back end of command again, right? Now, as far as what image, because right, that's always the question here, is I would use images from Pixabay or Pexels. Or if you like using Canva, I do that as well. And I'll just take a picture of a house and write February tips on it, March tips, right? So just some ideas. So I can grab whatever image I want to use from Pexels or Pixabay, and you can play around with what you search, right? There's tons and tons of different options depending on what you search. So then once I grab, let's say, the image I want, and I now have the caption I want, okay, and you can copy this right here. I can now go schedule that out. So I can click on the command backend, right? I'm in the campaign section. I'm going to do those same steps that we did, right? Campaigns, I'm going to go ahead and click create campaign on the top right. Create campaign and social post. Okay. So same concept here. I'm going to go ahead and paste in what ChatGPT gave me. Okay, so that's the caption. So it did all the work for me, right? So, like even if I wanted to have it search something like related to this as far as, okay, the number one thing is check your roof for winter damage or clear those gutters and downspouts. So like as far as what you're searching, right? If I wanted to type in, I don't know what's going to come up for clean your gutters, but we're going to find out. Right, but you can get creative as far as what you're searching so that it more correlates, right? Like cleaning images, you can get creative with this. All right, so whatever the image is, let's say I'll use this one. And again, anytime I save something, I'm going to want to rename it to me. Lining and brokerage. And now I'm going to schedule that out, right? So I paste it in the caption. I click the little photo icon. I'm going to add that picture. I'm going to browse files and double click to pull that in. It will give me the option to crop it. So I can do that. Same concept. I can go ahead and make sure it's in compliance by scrolling down. And then this is where I'll really want to schedule it, right? Because I want this to go out March 1. On the very bottom, I'll click that. And so depending on whatever day March 1 is, Friday, that sounds great. There's really not a bad day to post on social media. All right, but Friday, let's say I'll post at 10 a.m. and I can click schedule post. And then I can go do that for each and every month for the rest of the year, and I'm done, right? If I time block a couple hours for that, I can do that for the entire year. Another thing that's kind of evergreen, because right, this we play with, because all right, this is an evergreen, like it's not timely, right? I don't have to wait each month for the market stats to drop in order to post this. Other ideas are of like items like that people engage with well on Axios, right? Oh, Axios Charlotte specifically. And of course, there are a lot of different sites like this, like Charlotte's got a lot, but Charlotte, I love Axios. And it gives you just really great, as far as categories and things to post about is, yeah, you could come in here and post out the things to do in Charlotte this weekend, every Friday, right? So things to do in Charlotte every weekend. You can sign up for a newsletter as well so that it comes right to you. All right, but other things you could do is you could highlight, as far as like this is more of a timely thing, right? You would have to be cognitive to go in on Fridays and kind of schedule that out. Maybe you could do it for like the month ahead. But ideally, too, what you could do to post in advance is pick, okay, like a spot like the Whitewater Rafting Center. There's some really iconic spots around Charlotte that maybe don't have to do with an event that could be evergreen, right? Talking about did XYZ about the baseball stadium and the effects that have on real estate in the area, right? Did you know about these fun museums for kids around the greater Charlotte area, right? So it doesn't have to be timely. You can see that it's beneficial if it's not timely because then you can schedule it out in advance. Does that make sense? Okay, cool. And of course, I do recommend these kind of fun topics. Buyer and seller tips are great. It's just if I'm not interested in buying or selling, I'm not going to care about that. I'm most likely going to unfollow that kind of content versus I do care about things in Charlotte and you want to be a Charlotte expert anyway, right? I do care about events going on. I do care about the cool like Pinterest home hacks. Like under my desk is like wire mania, what should I do about that, right? That would be another time less, like you could schedule that out once a month, right? If you think of, let's say, 3 topics, and if you haven't used ChatGPT for this as well, I don't know if you guys have seen it, like you can ask ChatGPT to act like a real estate agent and have it make your social media calendar for the month. Go away. Hold on one sec. So like if you want ideas, let's say, I could act like a real estate agent and make my social media calendar for the month ahead, let's say. It's so cool. So you don't have to think, right? It gives you 3 posts a week. I don't have to think about what it's going to do, right? And it gives me all of the strategies combining for a real estate agent, touching on hyperlocal items, talking about listings, talking about St. Patrick's Day coming up, right? So it does give that. I love this feature of ChatGPT. So just an idea. So then you could go and schedule as much as it's out as possible. Right. Yes. Great. And so do you feel comfortable in scheduling out posts as well? Great. Any piece of the puzzle you feel like you don't have in this? Okay, great. Yeah, if you're going through this and have a question, like feel free to email us anytime as well, so we can give you like a quick answer too. Those are the main things. I do like, as far as a plan, I do like having at least 1 post a month being to your website as well. So as you're integrating that, that's a good one because it drives traffic and people really like properties too. Yeah, so that'd be a great one to schedule in advance because again, that link each time will be a live link. So it'll always, like if you schedule it, in a year for that to post out, that link will apply still for in that time. Does that make sense? Great, great. Good question. Great question. So the question is for Facebook, if you post to your business page, which that's what this does, right? KW command only posts to business accounts. So it does not post on your personal. So what you would do in that case is once it posts to your business page, you can go to the business page and click share, and I can show you this, and share it to your personal page. And what that does is a couple things, is it drives traffic to your business page, and it takes care of, so what the general rule of thumb is, let me see if I know my login, for how much you should be posting, like on your personal page, real estate related content versus like personal content. It's a 80-20 rule. So, right, you will get unfollowed if you post only about your business on your personal page. I'm talking about your personal page specifically here. Let me see, I have it on my phone. The password. I know, because like when your phone remembers it from your face, But yeah, you can share it right from your business page to your personal page so that it reminds people that you are in real estate and drives traffic over to your business. And it is really good to have a business page separately because because of the power of Facebook, it puts you on the very top of Google with your Facebook page, your business Facebook page, and it brands you as not just like a person slinging around real estate. No, you are a credible business that sells real estate. Sorry, and I can show you how to share it over. Got it. And this will be the last thing we do, and then you guys can go post all day if you would like to. I appreciate how secure they try to make it for us, but it's rather difficult. Okay, so I'm going to be showing you the Facebook backend now, okay? So the Facebook backend is a little weird how they have it structured now. It did change recently. So I can tell I'm looking at my personal backend because I can see my headshot on the top right, and that's the headshot for my personal page. But if I click on my headshot on the top right, I can see my business page from that drop down, and I can switch over to it to interact instead as my business page. Okay, so whatever headshot or logo is on the top right, that's how you're interacting, meaning I can go through and interact with people on my business page. And I recommend that, right? So yeah, you can post all day and that's great, but the main way you get interactions on your post is if you like other people's. Like if I came in here and I commented and I said, what a beautiful pool. That makes it 10 times more likely that she's going to click on and interact with my post, right? Just even my comment, which makes my future posts pop up for her, right? Because the algorithm works like, you know, when you log onto Facebook, you're not seeing your friends' updates in chronological order. You're seeing what the algorithm thinks you're most interested in. That's why every time you go on, someone else is having a baby or getting married, right? It puts what it thinks you're most interested in at the top. And it gauges that by what you interact with. Well, how do you get people to interact with your posts if they don't even see them? And that's how you do it. You need to be going through and interacting on other people's posts, okay? The recommendation is like 10 likes a day, 5 comments a day, and then either 1 post or 1 DM on social media to drive up that engagement. All right, but the final thing I'll show you is how you can share anything from your business page to your personal page. So if you want to go ahead and click on your business page, okay. So I'm looking, we do actually, in order to share it to your personal page, we need to switch to interact as your personal page, okay? So how I do that is I click on the logo or headshot on the top right, and then I can tell which one I'm not on because it has an arrow circle around it to switch to my personal. Okay, so that's the first step. If you want to share something from your business account to your personal, I need to see my headshot on the top right for my personal page, okay? Now I'm going to search my business page like I'm a member of the general public. So I would search my business page, whatever you have that named as. So again, I'm interacting as me. I can tell because my headshot's up here. But then I am going to search my business page and click on it to see all my posts. So click on it and that'll go over to my page. All right, so essentially I'm just trying to look at my page like I'm the public. So now I can come in and just simply click share on the bottom of any of my posts on my business page. Hold on, wait for it. So if I click on share, if I click on share now, public, it'll share that right over to my feed, okay? The difference between share now public or share to feed, the other one right under it, hold on, is you'll see this icon has like a pencil icon that's showing you, it'll allow you to comment on it as well. Like, so if you want to write something before, like of course you already wrote the original post, but if you want to write something additional, you can, or you can just click share now, the top option, to share that just as it is to your page. So if I click on share now, you'll see it on the bottom left that it confirmed it. So I can click on view posts where it just had, or I can go look at my personal page to make sure I did that. It did it, right? So I can view my page, like what other people see by clicking on my headshot on the top right and just clicking on my name. Did it, add it. All right, and I now see that that post was shared over. So now anyone who's following my personal page or interacts with me regularly on my personal page, which will always be way more people, right? Just so you guys know, anytime you post something on your personal page, you'll get way more activity because that's what Facebook wants. It wants to be a friends, platform. However, it's really important still to have that business profile because we talked about the reasons we talked about, even though you get less engagement, okay? Do you have any questions on that? Okay. Bernice, feel free to pipe in if you have any questions. You're still on. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to answer anything else about Facebook if you guys have anything or anything else at all related to the KW Tech or social media. So let me know. I'm here. Is there anything else I can help with in general? Or are you good? Okay. Awesome. Yeah, Facebook is a wild beast. Yeah, Jules and I feel the same way. The back end's super confusing. But it's cool too, like once you get the hang of it, you can do Facebook ads from command as well. And so, I mean, those cost around like $35 to $50, but that would get you in front of unmets if you ever want to go that route. I don't really recommend it out the gate. I think that what you're doing is great, just posting on social media. And then, if you have an event or a reason to reach out to more people, that can always be set up now that you have this all set up. So that's cool. All right, yeah, no problem. And Bernice, let me know if you have any other questions. Feel free to shoot me an email, of course, if I can help further with any of this. contact@juliadesigns.com. Thanks, Jules. Thanks. She loved the class. Sneaking in at the